chute had the architects build out the corners of the cross, giving the shed its distinctive shape and creating rooms for reserve areas, feed rooms, and an early animal hospital. Since 1930, the SHEDD Aquarium has expanded twice. Both additions just play this video in the background because I just love watching these fish. They were just swimming around, being relaxed, and the atmosphere was so relaxed. See those two striped ones chasing each other, and then I go to a different view, and again with the same relaxed coloring we have going on. I do love living in the city of Chicago. We have so many places to go, so many things to see. We were going to go to the planetarium after this, but we had been walking around for so long, we were really exhausted. So we decided to come home after. I think we were at the aquarium for about 4 hours. And it definitely takes probably longer than 4 hours to see everything. We didn't go to the dolphin show. They have polar bears. We did see the blue whales. There's so many things to do. They have restaurants that you can eat at there. It is definitely a place that you can plan your whole day around. And it's definitely one of the sites that you can see right in the museum campus. Is probably one of the most spectacular views of the city of Chicago you could ever see, because it's right on the lake. You can see all of downtown, and it's so beautiful, so beautiful. As you can see in the reflection there, I was wearing my Lady Gaga t-shirt. A lot of that because I'm taking the photos through glass. Now these are mangrove trees. I think, are these the mangrove trees? No, these aren't the mangrove trees. Later in the video, I have some that are mangrove trees that kind of look like this. But we're not there yet. I think we're about to go. Oh, okay, the angelfish. I finally found one. I had been looking for one all day, and these were the only things that were close to angelfish. I don't even think they were called angelfish, but they were the closest thing that I could find to angelfish. So of course I had to take pictures of those, and here are the swimming turtles that were chasing each other. Now I followed these turtles around because I just thought they were so cute because they were chasing each other around the whole tank. And there they come. So I kind of followed them around, and I was taking pictures of them. And there's another one. They're just swimming, living their best life. Like I said, it's so relaxing just to watch them. This one is about to get bombarded by the other turtle. And here he is. There's the other turtle coming up. Now this fish, okay, I had the name, but now I forgot it. But I was taking a picture of this fish, and this turtle was like, no, you take my picture. You want to see me, you don't want to see this fish. So this turtle kept right in was really weird, and I think he turns around so I can get a better picture of him. Yeah, there we go. I loved all of the designs and colors of all these fish. They were so interesting. More that I thought were goldfish. But anyway, I got a map of Chicago, and I plan to do a video of going down the main streets she said.